Okay guys, so today I'm going to be changing my standard bulbs in my Persia Boxer for some LEDs. So first job is obviously get the bonnet up. And essentially there are two bolts. One's here, which takes a T5 Torx screw, and the other one's in a weird position up here with like a cap on it. So let's just give you a little close-up of those two. That's the first one. What I want to do is right up in the corner here. And to accomplish this, you're going to need a T30 Torx head screw. Put them somewhere safe. And that's what the upper one looks like. Bit of a weird one. And then all you got to do is the whole headlamp unit is now essentially undone, except for the electrical connectors. But you essentially need to push the whole thing back. There's a couple of catches under here I'll show you. So it's just a case of, there's no force in that at all, honestly. Very easy done. And just to show you where the electrical connector is. So that's it with the grey catch. That's the only thing now connecting the headlight to the vehicle. I'll show you it from behind to give you some perspective. And this whole catch just slides out now towards the camera. It should do. Yeah. So you just pull it. Look how little it moves. Doesn't have to move very much. Pull it that way, and now the whole thing should just loosen off. Very, very simple. Alright guys, I hope you can see this. Here are the lights I ordered from Amazon. The LED replacements. Just come with a little pack of gloves, the manual, and then each bulb. This looks almost the same. Again, pair of gloves, silica gel, and a little LED manual as well. But job number one is going to be removing the old bulbs. So what I'm going to do is I'll do one full headlight at a time, rather than doing two separate headlights with both the dip bulbs and then two separate headlights with the full beam bulbs. So one at a time to me just feels like less messing about of a whole headlight unit, considering the cost of a replacement of a whole unit. Well, I don't actually know. I dread to think is the honest answer. So let's start just by removing the current bulbs in the current headlight. Okay, a little bit of a tip. The green plug, basically what you've got here is your main beam. So the nearest cap to the green plug is your main beam. Remember that, because your replacement headlights and the previous headlights look almost exactly the same. It's just that your LED is in a slightly different place and set properly for your the reflector of the headlight and how it works. So it should be green plug, full beam, dip beam. So remove your rubber cap. This is just a waterproof cap to expose inside. And what you've got then is a small wiring harness and your bulb and a couple of clips, one at 3 o'clock, one at 6 o'clock in this orientation. I don't know if you can see that a little bit better, I'm hoping. Let's see if we can see, there we go. So let's remove that wiring harness first. Just gently pull it off, tuck it out of your way. And again, you might be able to see the clips at 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock on the inside circumference of that holder. And you basically need to put your finger and push one back to release one side, and then wiggle the bulb out. You might have to put your hand in and get the other side as well, but that's essentially the practice. A little bit difficult to see with my big hands, but push in, and it should, might be easier one side rather than the other, just depends on the clip. There we go, I felt that one release at that side, and you can see, I hope, and here, that's it. And wiggle it, remove your bulb, put it somewhere safe. So this is my full beam, and then this is the Amazon full beam one with the wire. These are smart bulbs, so it doesn't matter which way around I plug these in, apparently, even though it's got a plus and a minus on it. So I'll believe it if it works. But same as the old bulb, it's got a little tab on. So line the tab up at the bottom, so in this orientation, 6 o'clock. And you just essentially pop it in until you feel it click into place. Don't push on the fan, okay? Don't push on this little fan here. Push on the sides. I'm going to err on the side of caution, given that there's a plus and a minus, and I'm going to assume that my brown is a plus and my black is the earth. And tuck the wiring out of your way and replace your rubber cap. Remember, this is your waterproof cap, keeping moisture, damp, rain, spiders out of your headlight. Now replace the other side, exact same situation. Remove the cap, just make sure you've got no loose rubbish around it. Remove your wiring loom. Of course, I've got a black and a yellow this time, so I'm going to assume yellow's live and black is the common earth. Same thing, two little clips. Push it out of the way and pull the prong of the bulb back with the other finger. And that worked beautifully. Put the bulb away safe. These can be spare bulbs later on. The low beam is a different coloured bulb, possibly just because they're two different manufacturers. This one does not have a plus or a minus on it, so it's going to be pot luck, and just hoping that they really are genuinely smart bulbs. Tab at the 6 o'clock, not pushing on the fan, put the whole bulb in, make sure it's clipped, give it a wiggle to make sure it's not loose, little gentle pull, and then route your wire. I'm going to bring it around clockwise this time, out of the way. Pop it all in. And again, all the way around, make sure your waterproof cover is on properly. And that's it. The other headlight will be the exact same. It's just a case now of doing that and going back up to the van to slide these back into place and hope that they work. Now, you may have noticed I didn't use the gloves that come with the kit. And the reason gloves are usually given are because skin contaminants and oil on your hands. So I'd wash my hands first. Don't touch your hair, don't touch your face, because hands don't become oily naturally. When your hands get oily, it's because you've been running your hands through your hair, it's because you've been touching your face. That's where your natural skin oils are. So wash your hands first and then do this. But I have kept these because I'm keeping the halogens as spares. Okay? And then each glove, which has been unused, I'm going to pop, without the glass ever having touched the skin, I'm going to put each bulb into each glove to protect it and carry the bulbs as spares in the retail packaging, because they're foamed and they're nicely protected. And now these boxes will live in the van, and I've got my 4 spare bulbs, which you should have for going to places like France anyway, but it just makes good sense. Okay, so back at the van, and you can see this little part here is for one of the hooks for the bottom of the headlight, and this square is the other. So you just need to make sure that these slot into them. Check where your hooks are. And bring the headlight towards you a bit, and that's it. There's no click, no snap. And then get your bolts, and I just like to get them just a little bit in so the threads are biting. This one's a bit more of an awkward one. Give the headlight a bit of a good tug, make sure it's solid. And pinch each bolt up. From hand tight, I'm doing a roughly a quarter turn. The biggest thing not to forget, of course, is the plug. So don't forget your plug. So make sure that grey is all the way back, pushed on, and then snapped in. Give it a good tug again to make sure it's fine. Job done. Now just do the other side. This is us a week and a half later coming back from Ireland. We've come off the Cairnryan ferry and we're heading for an overnight stop at 10:30 at night. And that's dip beam and full beam. And believe me, it makes such a difference. These were a brilliant investment, and I'll put the links in the description of the video.